Hey, what's up everybody? This is Roland from Phantom Lords Paintball, and today I'm just going to talk a little bit about the brand new Stark Pursuit Zetamags, the 20-round extended mag for the Tippmann TPX. I was lucky enough to get in on, I guess, what was the initial shipment of mags after they apparently sold out of everything at Living Legends, and yeah, I just wanted to kind of go through a couple of the features and initial impressions. I haven't actually had the chance to get these out on the field yet. I do plan to go out to the field this weekend, but I have shot some rounds through it and just checked out the mag. And I know that there's a lot of people out there who are kind of hungry for more information and more pics and video of the mags. It's a really highly anticipated item for a lot of pistol players and people who use pistol as primary. One of the main drawbacks of the TPX in a lot of people's minds is the capacity of the mags. And these give you 20 rounds, 10 per side, so 10 on one side, flip it on the Z-axis, and 10 more rounds. And aside from that, also, as far as the detents, the durability, Stark Pursuit really seems to, at this point, have addressed a lot of the issues that people do have with TPX mags. Obviously, it's going to take some time to see if the long-term durability is really there, but as far as the materials used and you know, just the overall look and design of the mag, it's obvious that there's been a lot of thought put into this. They did partner with Milsig in order to release this. So Milsig did the manufacturing. These are available directly through Stark Pursuit's website, as well as Milsig Direct in the States. A few, you know, I apologize, I don't really know the websites for Canada and Europe, but if you're in the States, hit up Stark Pursuit, Milsig Direct. Doug Brown is in charge of, as far as I know, getting stuff out from them. And they're running $25 per mag. They are doing an introductory package. I'm not quite sure how long that's going to be going on, but I believe still right now they're doing 4 mags for $80, which is what I got, which is a really good deal because Tippmann stock mags, the stock 7-rounders, are $30 for 2, so you're basically getting 4 extended mags for less than 6 stock mags. So they're really doing their best to get these into people's hands, and they know that it's been a long time coming, that people have been clamoring for these. Tiberius users have at least had the option of having extended mags. They are kind of hard to find, and there are 2 different companies that have done them. I don't have any personal experience with the Tiberius extended mags, but I do know just from, you know, hearing and reading about them that there were some issues that people had with the function of the second round of the mags that came out for the 8.1 series. So the ones that are around for the 8 series, I mean, you'll see them online or for sale or anything, and they're going to be over $100. And then there's still the whole weight issue with Tiberius stuff. The mags are heavy, the extended mags are heavier. So this is something that people have been really waiting for, and I've been really happy to see not only the interest with current TPX users, but it seems like a lot of people who hadn't thought about getting a TPX are now thinking about it, and people who have tried the TPX previously and for whatever reason have gotten away from it are giving it another shot, because this could be really a game changer as far as using that pistol. So yeah, that's the basic intro. This is brand new, and I'm just going to take a closer look at it now and show you guys some of the features and give you some of my thoughts on the mag itself. Okay, so let's go over a little bit about what actually comes in the package. You're going to get the Zetamag itself, a loading rod, and this is a proprietary rod which is used to depress the spring. a dust boot, which is basically for the bottom of the mag. And this dust boot, actually, you can see that it has a lanyard loop on it. And that loop can actually be used if you wanted to put a lanyard around the loop in the handle of the TPX and around the lanyard loop on the Zetamag dust boot. That way you can keep one loop on the gun at all times as you change mags and not lose them. And importantly, the Zetamags also come with a nice little instruction package. And I highly recommend reading this. I also recommend, and I'm going to put a link in the body of the description, the Zetamag guys actually, a few days after they were released at Living Legends, did a video that addressed all of the issues that people were having, which seemed to be mainly due to improperly loading the paintballs or releasing the spring release with no paintballs in it. It's important that you do use the proprietary rod, and it's important that you read these instructions. Check out that video also. You do not want to break your brand new mags just playing around with them without reading the instructions. And that should really be something that you should get used to with any piece of paintball equipment that you're going to use on the field. You need to know your equipment, know how to properly use it, or else you might break it. So one thing that I will say as far as what the mags came shipped in, I purchased the 4 mag pack, and the shipping on it was $16, and it came shipped in this Tyvek priority mail envelope, and I was a little disappointed at that. I do not think that $16 is too much for shipping. I own a business myself. I ship priority all the time. I ship UPS. $16 is reasonable for 4 mags, but I did expect them to come in a medium flat rate box, not in a Tyvek bag. These mags are fairly durable, but we all know that when it comes to the post office and shipping, sometimes mistakes happen. And for something that I would still consider semi-breakable, I'd really like to see these come in boxes, especially for the price given. There's plenty, you know, if they ship it in a medium flat rate box, they still get their, you know, couple bucks handling. They won't have any headaches with somebody saying something broke. It's just better all the way around. Maybe, you know, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt because it's definitely possible that maybe they ran out of boxes. I know at my post offices, I live in Philly, a lot of times there's just not boxes at the post office, and if you order them through the postal service, it's a very erratic delivery schedule. Sometimes you get them 2 days later, sometimes you get them 2 weeks later. They might have just ran out of boxes and did whatever they could. There was a little bit of bubble wrap around the mags themselves, but it was loosely packaged. This is a small gripe, but I would just say in the future it would be cool. I'd love to see these packing in boxes. Anyway, enough about shipping. The mags got here and they're okay, so that's all good. As far as the plastics that the mags are put together with, it is a little bit of a textured plastic. Here's a stock TPX mag, which is a smoother plastic. The finish on these mags overall is really, really nice. I don't see any flashing or any evidence of corners cut in finishing during manufacturing. Again, I think it was a really good move of these guys to go ahead and partner with Milsig on these. And they obviously did a really good job, a lot of good design. The tops of the mags where you insert them into the gun have a little bit of a chamfered angle, which is really nice. I never really had problems with the stock TPX mag, but again, it's just little aspects of the design that show that these guys really put a lot of thought into this stuff. As far as the length of the mags, it's really just a, let me get rid of this loading rod for a sec. It's really just a difference of 4 inches in length between the stock TPX mag and the Zetamags. So maybe this will be a little bit better. So you can see that, right about 4 inches. The Zetamags have nice windows in them. One of them says 10 here, and the other at 5. The 5 is a little curious because that will be actually inside the gun when the mag is being used, but overall it's nice to have these windows in there. It's always nice to just be able to see paint really quickly if you're flipping the mag over. Of course, you know, you would see it at the top anyway if there are balls in there, but just more places where in the heat of things, if you're flipping a mag and you just see a flash of color out the window, that's kind of nice. I know a lot of people are happy about the windows, but also happy that they're small windows, which, as opposed to the stock TPX mag, you know, you have slits down both sides. So for those of you who are crawling around in mud and muck all the time, this should keep more of that from getting in there, and that's actually the point of the dust boot as well. Aside from that, there's also a spring release on the mag. These mags, when they are inserted into the TPX, do not automatically release the balls like the stock TPX mag does. And there seems to be some people who think this is annoying. I haven't used the mags really yet, but to me, I am guessing that it's going to wind up being something that is really no more annoying. I mean, we're already using a marker where you insert CO2 if you are using 12 grams. I use 12 grams. And the first time I played, I would insert CO2 and then maybe forget that it needed one trigger pull to pierce the CO2 before it started working. I would estimate that this is the same kind of annoyance, something that's very small and doesn't take very long to get used to. There are release buttons on both sides of the mag, and the action is very, very light and easy and springy. So, you know, if you just kind of even run your fingers down the side, they are a bit recessed, you can see, so it's not like the buttons are sticking out the side and will get caught, but they seem to be easy to engage. I like the way they're designed. I don't think that that should really be a problem once you get used to using your equipment. A lot of pistol play is getting used to using equipment, the rigs, the 12 grams, you know, so this is just another small thing to get used to as far as I'm concerned. As far as the weight of the mags, I was pretty pleased to find, I weighed them separately, and the stock TPX mag is 2.7 ounces. The Zetamags are 3.2 ounces, so you're looking at ½ an ounce difference for a 20-round double-sided mag as opposed to a stock 7-ball mag. And then one of the details that everybody's really, really happy about, the detents. The detents on the Zetamag seem wonderful. They're very easy to pull back. They have ridges here, and that's one of the main things with the stock TPX mag. Anybody who's used these, like my rig, I have these upside down. It's very hard to use the detents, but moreover, when these are upside down, you tend to lose a ball during play. And when you only have 7 shots to begin with, you don't want to pull out a mag and only have 6 or sometimes even 5. So these detents, they come over the ball very nicely, and people are definitely happy to see much, much, much better detents. So kudos to the Stark Pursuit guys for that. Okay, so this is all well and good, but really there's 2 main advantages of the Zetamags. Number 1, of course, is the increased capacity, 20 rounds instead of 7. Number 2 is that we finally have a TPX mag with great detents that is going to keep the paintballs in and make sure however many rounds you initially load into the mag is how many rounds you actually get to shoot. Loading the Zetamags, it's a fairly straightforward affair. Pull the detent back a little bit, insert the loading rod, and then you need to actually hold up the spring release buttons. Just keep them in position so they will lock in as you just slowly insert the loading rod till you hear an audible click. Pull that out and you're ready to load. These will be easy because the detent is so easy to retract. You can probably just cup a bunch and put just roll them off your palm into this. I'm going to be using a nice 10-round tube, and because the detent comes up and over the balls so well, you don't even really have to, you know, give that extra little push in to make sure these are in there. Shaking, shaking, shaking. I would venture to say that you're going to break paint inside the mag before you actually get paint to come out past the detent. That's probably the only way paint is going to come past the detent. Just great detents. Okay, so here's my current rig, and I actually have, this is a rig that I made myself, but it's modeled after existing pouches that the normal TPX magazines would fit upside down in these, and I have 8 of these. So with the Zetamags, because I wear my rig pretty much a mid to lower position on my torso, these really aren't sticking up too much at all. They fit in easily, obviously, as the mags are basically the same shape and cross section as the TPX mags. There are actually, this is kind of cool for me because I didn't really put extra retention on these. The textured plastic and the extra ridges that are in the design of the Zetamag help like really make sure they're going to stay in the rig. So inserting this into the TPX, all I would have to do is pull the spring release. With releasing them, normal TPX mags will basically kind of pop out into your hand. Here's a stock TPX mag. Not so much the case with the Zetamags. Again, I don't see that as really a negative. You know, usually when you're releasing a mag, your hand is always going to be there anyway. So overall, the couple extra inches is well worth it. I'm not going to really go through shooting. I have shot a couple mags through this. It feeds flawlessly. I haven't had any problems, haven't had any breaks, haven't had any misfeeds. One thing that if you are a 12-gram user with the TPX, another cool thing is that this actually really simplifies your use in terms of when to change CO2. Most people are getting a little over 3 mags with a 12-gram in the TPX. And with this, basically, you know, you can eject a mag. You might have a couple of more shots in the CO2, but you can basically eject a mag. Maybe if you need to, pop off a couple of dry shots, throw in a new mag, throw in a new CO2, and you're good to go for basically 3 stock mags worth of shots. So that to me is a big plus. So yeah, overall, if you use a TPX as a primary, I really don't see much reason not to go with these. We'll see over time. I mean, that's the one remaining thing is over time, will these last? Will the springs last? Will people start having problems with the mechanism? If these prove to be durable enough to last a few seasons, this is definitely a huge game changer for people who use the TPX as a primary pistol. I'll definitely have updates after I play this weekend. I'll just give some quick thoughts, but I don't expect any surprises. Like I said, they shot flawlessly. Unless these things fall apart prematurely, Zetamags, awesome product. Thanks a lot. If you have any questions, just leave them below. And thanks for watching. Take care.